Welcome back to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into an absolutely vibrant desert adventure. Picture this. Our hero, Moses, is about to have a massive family reunion. We're diving into Exodus chapter 18, and let me tell you, it's packed with action and a genuinely game-changing lesson about teamwork. Ready to hit the mountain of God with us? Let's go.
But before we get to the characters, I've got to ask you something. What happens when one person, just one, tries to do literally all the work? I mean, have you ever tried to carry every single bag of groceries inside at the exact same time? Or tried cleaning the whole house completely by yourself? It's exhausting, right? Well, that exact feeling is the giant problem brewing in our colorful desert camp today.
So, our story kicks off with this incredibly happy reunion. Moses just led the Israelites out of Egypt, and they're all camped out in the desert at the mountain of God. Now, Moses has a super wise father-in-law named Yitro. You might know him as Jethro. Well, Jethro hears about all the amazing things that have been happening, so he travels all the way out into the desert, bringing Moses' wife Tzipporah and his two sons Gershom and ezer along with him. Moses is so thrilled, he literally runs out, bows down, kisses his father-in-law, and brings him into his tent to catch up on the whole shebang. And Jethro, he is just overjoyed. Hearing how Moses and the people were rescued from a really harsh Pharaoh, Jethro bursts with praise. He says, "Blessed be Adonai, who has rescued you from the Egyptians." They even bring burnt offerings and have this massive, joyful feast right there around the campfire with Aaron and all the leaders of Israel. It's just a totally beautiful moment of gratitude.
But you know, the very next morning, the sun comes up and it is time to get back to work. And as Jethro watches Moses, he notices a pretty huge problem. It's what we might call a one-man show problem.
Think about it like this. How would your brain feel if you had to do 1,000,000 homework assignments all by yourself? Or what if you had to clean up a giant, chaotic mess made by thousands of people completely alone? You'd probably feel like your brain was melting, right? You'd be so incredibly tired and cranky.
Well, believe it or not, that is exactly what Moses was doing. There were thousands upon thousands of Israelites in this camp, and anytime they had an argument, like maybe whose sheep was whose, or who accidentally knocked over someone's tent, they brought it to Moses, every single one of them. Moses was sitting there, all by himself, settling disputes and explaining God's laws from sunrise to sunset, just a never-ending line of arguments.
Jethro spots this right away and realizes this endless grind is going to completely destroy Moses. He looks at this massive line and asks, "Why do you sit there alone, with all the people standing around you from morning till evening?" He tells Moses straight up, "What you are doing isn't good. You will certainly wear yourself out. It's just way too much for one person."
So we've got a classic showdown here. On one side, the one-man show that's trying to be the superhero who does everything. But it's exhausting, it's way too much pressure, and honestly, it slows everything down because everyone's just standing around waiting for you. On the flip side, we have the power of delegation. Delegation is just a big word for sharing the workload. When a community shares the heavy lifting, everyone gets to rest and things get done so much faster.
Luckily, Jethro doesn't just point out the problem. He gives Moses some incredibly wise advice to fix it. He lays out a brilliant roadmap.
It's a super simple 3-step checklist. Step 1, Moses, you keep representing the people before God. That's your unique job. Step 2, teach everyone the laws so they actually know the rules ahead of time. And step 3, this is the real game changer, pick good helpers. Jethro tells him to find competent, honest men to be leaders and share this massive workload. So let's see how Moses puts this awesome plan into action. Because you can't just pick anybody to be a leader, right? You need the best helpers, people who are trustworthy, who hate dishonest gain, and who truly care about doing the right thing. And look at this number, 1,000. Moses didn't just pick 1 or 2 guys. He powerfully organized these honest, capable people to be leaders in charge of groups of thousands. Imagine having a super smart, fair friend who helps 1,000 people sort out their issues.
But he didn't stop there. Moses built an entire system. He appointed leaders for hundreds, leaders for 50s, and even leaders for 10s. That meant no matter where you lived in that giant camp, you had a wise, helpful leader nearby to listen to your problem and help solve it quickly. It turned into a massive, super helpful team.
And the result is absolutely beautiful. By letting these amazing helpers decide the simple, ordinary matters, Moses only had to step in for the really difficult cases. The burden got so much lighter. The text tells us that because Moses actually listened and followed this advice, he was able to endure, and all the people arrived at their destination peacefully. Literally, no more waiting in line all day long. Okay, so what does this all mean for us? Let's get into some food for thought and look at how these ancient rules actually help our modern society.
I want you to really think about this. We notice the below moral and rules to help society, and how many have observed it. Seriously, think about your own life. When you're doing a group project at school or tackling chores at home with your siblings, do you try to do it all yourself, or do you use these rules? Let's check them out.
Here are the 5 big takeaways. First, the danger of the one-man show. Taking on every minor task alone is totally unsustainable. It will definitely wear you out. Second, the power of delegation. Empowering others actually frees you up to focus on what you do best. Third, humility and receptivity. This is absolutely crucial. Moses was a great leader who spoke directly to God, but he still humbly listened to his father-in-law's practical advice. Good leaders are always open to feedback. Fourth, character matters. You have to choose trustworthy, moral people to share responsibilities with. And finally, shared community burden. A community thrives best when everyone contributes. When we spread out the load, the burden gets lighter and everyone finds peace.
And that is exactly how sharing the workload turns a tired, cranky camp into a thriving, happy community. You really don't have to do everything alone. Ask for help, share the chores, and be a great teammate. Thank you so much for joining me on this colorful explainer today. Click the bell button, like, share, and subscribe. But before you go, think about this. What is one big task in your life right now that you could make so much easier by simply asking a friend for help? Catch you next time.